Hey, this is Sky. Welcome to my YouTube channel. So it's Sunday morning. It's bright and early. Mind, body, and soul. Daily discipline. This is how we get through. Every Sunday I like to do a little study group for warriors. I take about 6 quotes that I pull from my morning studies. I hope everybody out there is staying up on their daily studies. Let's just get through it. Today the quotes are all Mafia quotes. These are all from Mafia Bosses. I think every one of them is from a Mafia Boss. And let's just get into it and see if we can get any value out of this. I learned too late that you need just as good of a brain to make a crooked million as an honest million. That was by Lucky Luciano. A lot of people thought Lucky was a genius, and he created the commission. 5 families turned into 9 or 10. The commission had a lot of families on it. It was a brilliant idea. He turned a bunch of warring street gangs, really, into successful mobs through a system of rules and a corporate structure. It's interesting that what we put a lot of time into is what we get results out of. And I've met a lot of guys in the streets who put a lot of time in illegal activity when they could have been putting that same time into making their lives better, into understanding their past trauma, into building relationships, they could have put time into making themselves stronger mentally and physically. So when it came to looking for a job, they might be a little bit smarter to get a little bit better of a job. They might have a little bit more discipline to show up to that job every day without copping out. Guys in the streets are the laziest motherfuckers in the world, and these guys would get up at 5 a.m. to go sell crack on the corner, but they can't get up to a fucking job. If you could put that energy into one thing, you could put it into something else. I feel like I wasted a good part of my life by doing fucked up shit when I could have been putting that energy towards something else. Let's go to the next one. No one gives it to you. You have to take it. That's by one of my more favorite mob bosses, Frank Costello. When Lucky Luciano got deported after World War II, and he went to Sicily, Frank Costello took over the Luciano family. Frank Costello eventually got pushed out by Vito Genovese, and Vito was a real goon. Vito was not a nice dude, but he let Frank live. I believe he did have one attempt on his life, but he let him live. But Frank was a good guy. A lot of people think that the movie The Godfather was Marlon Brando's character was supposed to be Frank Costello. And this obviously is talking about robbery. No one gives it to you, you have to take it. But to me, this really means that you have to have gumption. It's like an old country word. You gotta have some get up and go to you. Because life isn't gonna come and meet you. You have to go meet it. What is it that you want, that you desire? You're not gonna have that come knock on your door. You wanna be rich? That's an attainable goal. But it's not gonna happen overnight. It's not gonna happen through the lottery. You're gonna have to play the game right. You're gonna have to go after it. You wanna get married, have a wonderful relationship, you're going to have to do what it takes. You're going to have to go after it. And go after it hard. Because nobody gives this shit to you. And success doesn't come easy. At least it shouldn't. And when it does, when success comes easy, it's fleeting. It's not solid. It's not chiseled in stone. It's just a rubber band that you're holding on to. And the second you stop paying attention, that thing will snap out of your fucking fingers. Let's go to the next one. This is by everybody's most famous mob boss, but he's not my favorite mob boss. I never lie to any man because I don't fear anyone. The only time you lie is when you are afraid. It's John Gotti. John Gotti never should have been boss. John Gotti ruined the Gambino family because of John Gotti's mouth on those tapes. I'm not talking about Sammy the Bull. I'm talking about John Gotti's own mouth on those tapes in the apartment, that old lady's apartment, above the Hunt and Fish Club. The FBI had that fucking thing bugged. They got John Gotti, his own mouth, admitting to murders, admitting to the rules of La Cosa Nostra, admitting that there was a La Cosa Nostra. You're not even supposed to admit that there is one. John Gotti's own mouth sent 300 fucking people to prison. And he destroyed the mafia. He single-handedly destroyed the Gambino family, which was a $500 million a year organization, and he was just a street thug. People like him because he was a stand-up guy, and I respect John Gotti for that. He was a real mobster, to the end. He says he never lies, but that's a lie in itself. But basically what this means is if you have the confidence in your character, you have no need to make shit up or to be someone that you're not. Lying, being deceitful, its root is fear. That's where it all comes from. Why did you lie? And you can have that conversation intellectually with somebody, if they're willing to. And what you'll get down to is fear. When you get past the bullshit and the ego and the narcissism and the excuses, the justifications, when you get down to it, and honestly, why did you lie? It'll be out of fear. Go talk to your kid about this. Your kid will be a little easier to reveal to you why they did it. It's always fear. Let's go to the next one. Everybody loves Al Capone. You can get rich. No, excuse me. Let me start over. You can get much further with a kind word and a gun than you can with a kind word alone. And that's Al Capone. There's been some controversy wondering if Al Capone ever even said this, but let's just go with it and assume that he did. I've always liked this quote. You can kill a motherfucker with kindness only so much. Be intimidating. Keep people guessing. Make people wonder when they start to get too close to that line. You know what line I'm talking about. That line of disrespect. Make that motherfucker wonder as he's talking. Am I safe? Am I getting too close to the lion's mouth? Make motherfuckers wonder what your politics are, what you're about. Keep them guessing. Because you don't know if you have to flip the script on somebody and put them in check. You might have to, and when that time comes, I'm not going to say if, I'll say when that time comes, and you got to flare those nostrils. You want to be able to get some response. Suckers get no response. That's why they go and kill themselves. It's why they go turn into mass shooters. Most successful CEOs, forget about mob shit, successful businessmen have a certain level of aggressiveness and confidence to them. which can be very intimidating to a weak-minded, inexperienced businessman. Look at Donald Trump. Forget about the politics if you like him or hate him. He's a good model for confidence when it comes to negotiation. He's a master negotiator. You have to give him credit. Let's go to the next one. This is one of my more favorite mob bosses, and I've known his grandson. I used to know his grandson. It takes many stepping stones for a man to rise. None can do it alone. That's Joe Bonanno. I've always liked Joe Bonanno. Joe Bonanno was part of the original commission, Five Families. The Bonannos got kicked off of the commission to their benefit. They got kicked off of the commission because, I believe it was because of the whole Joe Pistone thing, right? Anybody out there knows Mafia history, you can correct me, but I thought they got kicked off the commission because of the Donnie Brasco fuck up, that whole bullshit. But that was a big, big fuck up. They brought a fucking FBI agent into, that was a huge, huge mistake. And I believe that's what caused the vote. But it was to their benefit because right after that shit, Gotti gets busted. Sammy the Bull starts snitching. Everything fucking hits the fan with the Five Families, and they all go down. All the bosses of the Five Families go down, and the families each give up tons of their members. It's a catastrophe. This is all because of RICO Act. The Bonannos, the Bonanno family, weren't a part of the commission. So they weren't part of that raid and that arrest. The fucking mafia implodes, and the Bonannos are the only ones left. They ended up becoming really popular, really powerful. I've always liked the Bonannos. I was friends with Joe Bonanno Jr. This is the grandson. He's a loudmouth motherfucker. I mean, really, he would always talk about, I'm Joe Bonanno. I doubt his grandfather would like him bragging like that. It takes many stepping stones for a man to rise. I've talked about this before. No one can do it alone. We're not islands unto ourselves. We don't become successful by ourselves. Every single successful person that's ever lived has had help, every one of them. If you want to be successful in this life, look for help. Assemble a team. Assemble a platoon, a band of warriors that can have your back and that each person has their role. Form your own little mob. Let's go to the last one. Everybody loves this guy. You have to be like a lion. Excuse me. Let me get a drink before I go on. All right, let's try this again. You have to be like a lion and a fox. The fox is smart enough to recognize traps, and the lion is strong enough to scare away wolves. That's by Carlo Gambino. And Carlo Gambino was the boss of all bosses. The biggest don to ever live, in my opinion. He did it fucking right. I don't know if Carlo, and I'd have to research it, but I don't know if Carlo Gambino ever did a day in jail. I don't remember any mugshot photos of him. I don't think that he ever had an assassination attempt on his life, ever. Nobody ever tried to kill him. And the boss is not a job you want. Motherfuckers try to kill the boss. Despite what they say, that's how you come up in the mob. And that's one of the things I don't like about John Gotti, is John Gotti killed the boss in order to get his spot. And he was never reprimanded for it. They're not supposed to do that. But Carlo Gambino was really one of the most popular mafia figures to ever live. Small little guy, little person, but very powerful. But you have to be strong and smart. You can't just be strong and you can't just be smart. You have to be, and I add, you have to be a triple threat. You have to have strength, you have to have intelligence, and you have to have a spiritual connection. Because that spiritual connection raises you up to the highest level within our hierarchy that you can possibly have. It makes you the most dangerous person out there, being a triple threat, mind, body, and soul. This is just some wisdom from some successful mafia bosses. It's all just food for thought. Have a good Sunday, guys.